Hi, everybody. This is Pamela McDowell. Welcome to episode 15 of Relax, I Dare You. And this week, or actually last week's topic, which I'm doing today, is enjoying where you are. Thanks so much for listening. And I have been traveling. I have returned home to my house in Cairns, and enjoying where you are was a topic that just jumped out at me when I chose this. And thanks for your patience for accommodating them travel because things have been kind of busy. The travel, though, highlighted this whole sense of how we engage with the places that we are at currently. And it might be the place you live or a place you're visiting. You can use any of them, or you can even extrapolate into areas like the job you're currently doing or anything else like that. One of the things, well, two of the things I'd like to bring up are your points of view and everybody else's points of view. Every place is inherently different, has a different energy with the people, the history, the land, and everything. And it also has with it, or tied to the experience with it somehow, are the points of view that other people have and that you have. And you may not cognitively know it, but you are aware of other people's points of view and their general points of view, about a place, but also their general points of view about life, just by nature of being near them. So, what I'd like to invite you to at the moment is imagine you could put an energetic mute button on all of the heads of all of the people around you. Did that change the sense, the energy, whatever the feel of the space around you? And if it did, that's what I'm hinting at. If it's not, don't worry about. Maybe that tool doesn't work for you, but you can get a sense of, okay, well, how are you when you're in a city? How are you when you're in a noisy shopping center? How are you in a library? How are you when you're at the beach or in the mountains or in the middle of the desert? There's a different vibe and different when people are around versus people not around. So that's part of you being aware of their points of view, but also you, of course, having your own points of view that I'm going to dare say that maybe some of them are outdated. So if you've lived somewhere or you've been staying somewhere for a while, has your point of view about an area changed? So, for example, I've had lived in Cairns for about 15 years, and my point of view now is different than my point of view then. And it's easy sometimes to go into routine as opposed to looking at places with fresh eyes and fresh energy and inviting enthusiasm into our lives. So I wonder if you would allow yourself to be a visitor while you're also being a local. So, for example, returning to this town, I'm aware of energies that sometimes get a little bit frustrating. Nothing personal about cans, but there's just certain vibrations that can get a little bit frustrating. Hey, it's not a problem. And going away and returning highlights that those energies are here. So it might have to do with some stress with businesses in the city area, which I live fairly close to. It could be just stresses of, hey, it's summer and it's hot and sticky still, and yeah, we might be ready for some cooler weather. All sorts of things. And I don't necessarily have to know exactly what it is, cognitively be able to put labels on it, but can be aware of, okay, oh, here's that carrot soup that is canned. So a whole bunch of different energies blended together to kind of be this background energy of the space that when I'm visiting a different area, it may not be as noticeable, or yeah, you're still in that honeymoon phase where it's like, oh, you like to complain about stuff. Oh, how cute is that? Whereas after a few years, you're like, you like to complain about stuff. I've had enough of it. I don't want to hear it anymore. So that's with relationships, but you have a relationship with where you live. So what if you could discard everything you've decided or made solid and real about that relationship with the place you're living or the place you're visiting, and start fresh with fresh eyes? So just imagine tearing up everything you've decided all this is and letting it float away, melt away, go away, change. In what fresh eyes, fresh energy can you engage with the spaces you are in right now? Could be the house, it could be the town, it could be the job. Maybe you're listening to me in the job, or maybe a car even. So what appreciation can you start to unleash? And not fake appreciation, but just what can you open yourself to that will create a shift in your energy and the way that you're experiencing things? And does it have an influence on everything around you? So there's a study in a book that's probably 10, 20 years old now, maybe older. I lost the time, about water. And the scientist was in Japan looking at how people's attitudes and the energy that we're directing at water would actually change the structure of the water. And that when frozen, the flakes and the crystals would take on a different shape based on the energy that they were subjected to. So water's a molecule. There's a lot of water in the air, and there's a lot of molecules of other types around you. What if you actually have an influence? And it may not be something that you can see, but is it something you can perceive? So you shifting your energy actually has a flow-on effect to the space that's around you, and a flow-on effect sometimes to the people around you. So what if you played with that? What fresh eyes and fresh energies can you engage with and through the world today that will open up doors to something different, something more enjoyable, and something beyond what you've experienced before? Very simple, not very complicated, but just that willingness to recognize, hey, your experience up to now, your points of view up to now are simply just that. And you have a choice of how to engage going forward. And what can you choose? What small choices can you make that will start to change your experience and possibly increase your enjoyment? And open up more choices. So you don't have to stick with something that you're no longer enjoying. And if you were choosing that from a space of more gratitude, more appreciation, what else could you experience? What else could you bring into your life? And what else could you create? So I know I've danced around a few different areas, but this is really, around your point of view really does influence so much of how your life shows up for you. And it doesn't take a huge amount. Sometimes it seems like moving mountains, but just that willingness to start to change things and have a different point of view turn things upside down, flip things around, and play with it can start to create something new. So what's possible for you today? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this one. I know that might be a little bit different, and I will look forward to seeing you in a couple days with another topic. Thanks so much. See you soon. Bye.